I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
This one's wife. Look at her insane aura. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Have you recently attended an award ceremony that hasn't gone particularly well for you? Did you find yourself being side-eyed by a famous tennis star? Was it the case that you clapped like a coked-up seal in order to draw attention to yourself and to try to drown out the boos that were directed towards you? Was it the case that you behaved like a rude so-and-so and departed the event early, only to be told where to go and reminded that you're no Princess of Wales? Did your weekend become even worse as a consequence of the fact that your sister-in-law has shat all over you with regard to her popularity? Yes? If that applies to you, why not break out the bringing up the irrelevant past pack in a desperate attempt to try and shore up your failing reputation? Yes, for only several $1,000s, you too can seek to influence a gullible news reporter to report favourably in relation to you in an irrelevant and desperate attempt to bring the attention back onto you. This is clearly what has occurred in relation to this one's wife, as she has suffered the stinker of her appearance at the ESPYs and the all-conquering behaviour of Catherine attending Wimbledon. The criticism that has been directed towards this one's wife and the praise and appreciation that has been directed towards Catherine, Princess of Wales, naturally threatens her narcissistic need for control. What has she come back with? Well, in the past, when Catherine appeared at Trooping the Colour, it was raspberry jam and dog biscuits. Hardly a howitzer of relevance. Here, it's got even worse, as Newsweek runs with the title, "This One's Wife's Insane." I think they probably could have stopped there, couldn't they? But this one's wife's insane aura draws attention. What in the twat fuckery is this now? Auras? Insane auras? What's she dragging up here? Well, unsurprisingly, it's Jack Royston who has been tasked with trying to bring some attention back onto this one's wife. And the best that he can come up with is this. This one's wife being caught in a hail of camera flashes the moment she turned to the press has been described as insane by a fan on social media. Whoopie fucking do. Catherine has thousands of people applauding and cheering her. She's there, the cruiser. He's not laughing manically, but he's applauding her. Julia Roberts has a grin as wide as her latest paycheck. Leighton Hewitt is clapping. Chrissy Everett is clapping. Benedict Cumberbatch looks down favourably, all Sherlock Holmesy, and she enjoys that reception, but she doesn't milk it. She's not smug. She is her usual, graceful self. That's what Catherine's up to. But this one's wife has to resort to a fan on social media calling this one's wife being caught in a hail of camera flashes as insane. That really demonstrates the gulf between these two individuals, doesn't it? The Duchess of Sussex was photographed prolifically when she opened the Oceana exhibition at the Royal Academy during her first solo royal engagement. Oh yes, we're scraping in that barrel now. This one's wife had been doing royal duties since the previous December, but it was not until September the 25th, 2018. Nothing like going back nearly 6 years to try and find something to talk about favourably in relation to this one's wife. But it wasn't until that date that she stepped out on behalf of the monarchy, Mr. Royston writes, without having another royal at her side, usually Prince Harry. A clip of the moment received 4,000 likes and viewed 30,000 times. Those are paltry numbers. Paltry. Wait until you watch my video about the figures don't lie, and you will see how Catherine absolutely blitzes the didgeridoo out of those figures. But apparently, this clip received 4,000 likes and was viewed 30,000 times after it was posted on TikTok with the on-screen caption, "Aura," and the message insane. One fan replied, "Literally love her." What, as opposed to metaphorically? While another said this one's wife was gorgeous. A third wrote, "The flashes when she turned around, OMG." I'm presuming that they're not referencing her flashing a bit of side boob or maybe even giving a glimpse of gash, and it relates to camera flashes going off. A fourth wrote, "She is definitely the most pretty woman." The moment also came at a pivotal time for this one's wife, who was hugely popular with the public, but secretly grappling with the disintegration in royal relations behind the scenes. There had been tension with Princess Kate before this one's wife's wedding to Prince Harry. Thomas Markle, her father, had begun making hostile comments on British TV, and by August she told the Kensington Palace Communications Secretary, Jason Knorth, the royals were constantly berating Harry to get the interviews to stop. And the working culture in the private office they shared with Prince William and Kate had also become poisoned, according to Harry's book, Spare. However, none of this was publicly known at the time, and the visit to the Royal Academy was preparation for what in October 2018 would be a successful tour of Australia, New Zealand and the South Pacific, hence the Oceania theme. The exhibition was the first ever survey of oceanic art in Britain, and this one's wife got a round of positive publicity off the back of her role in opening it. By November and December that year, however, the toxicity bubbling behind the scenes would burst out into the open with a wave of hostile stories attributed to anonymous sources. Wow, this is the best that this one's wife can come back with in relation to the popularity battering that she's experienced over the last few days. What are you witnessing? This one's wife experiences a threat to control as a consequence of the criticism arising out of the ESPYs. That threat to control continues to sort of echo because people keep making reference to it. Thus, threat to control keeps returning. Furthermore, the triumphant appearance of Catherine at Wimbledon has been much reported on, and that also echoes, because it's repeatedly mentioned, thus creating frequent and repeated threats to control for this one's wife. So her method of trying to deal with that is for a PR puff piece to be generated as an indirect assertion of control, but it shows just how piss poor it is. She can't post to anything, rather she can't point to anything recent to demonstrate her supposed popularity. She has to go back nearly 6 years. The article has to dig back all of that period of time and relates to a video that makes reference to some insane aura which is just created by camera flashes, apparently. The article doesn't even provide a picture of said insane aura. We just have to take the word of the author for it. The video in question it's a very short clip indeed, and it shows this one's wife as she's leaving, and there's just lots of camera flashes going off. That's it. It's wholly unremarkable. I've attempted to capture by way of screenshot the aura. There isn't one. It's a complete PR puff piece generated around nothing, referencing a clip that hasn't been viewed that much for somebody who is globally infamous. And this is an excellent example of the desperation of the narcissist to be acknowledged in her own right, and the necessity of her responding as a consequence of the kicking that she has received, metaphorically of course, in relation to the appearance at the ESPYs, and the envy exhibited in relation to Catherine's appearance at Wimbledon. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.